Okay, well, let's see how it is tough. It's certainly tougher than the heats. And here we go. As you can see in front of your screen, it's the lineup for the C1, the canoe singles men's competition. And it's we've got some legends and we've got some newcomers. So it's going to be fascinating to see how we come through.
You got the two Slovenian boys scraping in 9th and 10th, ANZE and Benny. So they're definitely going to be ones to check out. And as you look to your screen right now, Benny's just starting his run. Super talented, very smooth paddler, and probably one of the most technical C1s in the field at the moment.
A little bit of trouble with that first offset, though, having to stop his boat to get inside and avoid that 50-second penalty. We won't have a split to compare it to, but I'm sure he was trying to keep the boat running more than that.
Yeah, he has the ability just to keep that boat moving so smoothly, and every now and then he comes unstuck a little bit. But it's still early days at the top of the course, so if he can hold it together through these tricky moves, and he's absolutely pinned 9-10. That's a move that plays right into his pack of cards, and he's crushed it.
Well, last year in the World Cups, he made 3 finals. In 2 of the finals, he actually had the fastest raw time. So although his top position was 8, there's certainly speed there.
Yeah, when he's on, he's pretty much unbeatable. So
top speed is not one of his issues. It's just sort of course maintenance. Sometimes he gets a little ahead of himself and kind of puts himself in a position where he's got to do something pretty incredible. Right now, he really seems to be trying to just keep the boat running and stay between the poles.
66-37 on the second split. I think that's going to be pretty competitive. Just picking up a touch in gate 18, so easy to do.
This stage in the course, picking up a penalty like that, there's not a lot of room to make up for it. You can't really put the pedal down at this point and sort of make up that 2 seconds.
Well, the reference time to go by is GEBAS from Czech Republic. He got through under 100 seconds. He got through 99.24. So let's see how they're going to go today. A bit outside that time. He comes through 104.12 in the semi-finals. That would have put him in 12th place. So there's escape there.
I think he's going to find himself down the list with that run time, but definitely early days in the World Cup series. He's off to Tartan next week for a home World Cup, one that I'm sure he'll be wanting to take out.
Slovenian's always doing well at home. This will set him up with a little bit of confidence, knowing that he can easily make the final.
Next up, we've got another Slovenian, ANZE BERCIC. He's super talented. He's got that black and yellow boat. Looks like a bit of a bumblebee out there. Very fast when he's on it. It's he keeps the boat speed on, and very, very dynamic paddler.
Well, last year in the World Cups, his first ever World Cup victory was in La SIDERIS, and he followed it up the week after in Tashiadis, the race after.
Yeah, picking up 2 wins last year. I think he finished pretty high up the World Cup overall. Had a good smooth start. He's looking on the money so far.
Nice dry boat. Didn't have the same problems that Benny had in that 3rd gate.
I think the trick to this course today is keeping the boat speed on at the top, making sure you don't lose any time before you get into those technically hard moves in the middle with the big whitewater, where it's pretty easy to lose massive amounts of time.
Well, he's on the pace after the first split, just fractionally down.
Not as good here, ending up low. That'll put the pressure on for the rest of his run as he's heading into the more complicated section, knowing that he's already down.
Yeah, and the C1 men class is really competitive, so I guess that this low right upstream will be quite hard for him to make a good finish. He knows he lost some time and he's just trying to go faster, and he's got 5 seconds to make up on the bottom section.
Well, he's world ranked number 4, so he's certainly capable of doing something.
Picking up penalties. Oh, they've given him a 50-second penalty for not negotiating a gate properly somewhere.
On our screen, oh no, maybe no. The 50 disappeared.
Well, it was on, now it's off, but he's still a little bit off the pace, 2.5 seconds down his compatriot SAVSEK, who had a bit of a nightmare when he did his Olympic final. He hit one of the first 2 gates and nothing went right, ended up coming 7th or 8th. Well, a load of school children in yesterday, having lots of fun actually trying out some canoeing themselves, trying out some bouncy castle. Next, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, it's Ander ELOSEGI, who has a temperament, very tall, lots and lots of talent, 4th in the Olympic Games, twice I believe.
Oh, and he's just picked up like an early penalty, so let's see if he managed to hold his run to the bottom. We saw in the K1 men class that it was getting really hard when you do mistakes at the beginning, and he's just picked up another penalty.
He has a history of not dealing well with adversity. Be interesting to see how he deals with the rest of this course. Very nice there, running into the upstream, nice and dry.
You wouldn't want to be his boat at the end of this one.
Or his paddle. Speaking, of course, of a very famous viral video during the pre-Olympic regatta here, having a shockingly bad run, he took out all of his frustrations on his boat and his equipment.
But to be fair to Ander ELOSEGI, there's 53 started the competition 2 days ago, 30 in the final, and he did qualify for the final, so it's put it in perspective. But he's well down at the moment, 7.65 seconds with 8 seconds penalties.
And he's just picking up another penalty. I think right now he knows it's over. He's just trying to go for the time and see if he can manage to have like a fast time despite mistakes. And maybe gain a little bit more confidence for the upcoming races.
Maybe he'll have calmed down by the end of the course. Here he comes over the line. Ander ELOSEGI, 9.79 seconds off the pace at the moment.
And he didn't get angry.
No, as he passed in front of the commentary booth, he was quite composed.
Probably had so much stick that he's decided to take revenge.
The next competitor is NICOLAS PESCHIER from France. He was not meant to race in the C1 category this year because they decided to focus on the C2, but his C2 partner, Pierre Labarelle, got really ill at European Championships, so he was here, and the federation decided to let him race the C1, which was a really good choice because he's in the final today.
Made the 14th in Athens Olympics. Father was a multi world champion. Brother Benoit won the gold in the K1 in the Athens Olympics, so he certainly has a pedigree. And last year in the World Cups, he was also performing in the top levels. He was 20th in 20th in Augsburg. Let's say he was 14th, Bratislava 6th. He's certainly up there.
Done a great job on the top section, really moving the boat well. Second back on the split, but I think his rhythm shows if he can hold it together.
And he tells the water what to do. He's quite powerful, isn't he?
Oh, he's very powerful. It's so impressive to watch him in the C2, and Pierre is very small and light, so you can see that Nico gives a lot of power to the boat.
And the bandage on his right arm?
He might have get slightly injured, but it doesn't seem to affect him too much so far. I think the French physio are doing a great job.
Well, he's certainly making it exciting here, flying down the course. Consistently was 1 second off at the first split. Still in touch, 1.3 seconds down.
Oh, picking up a penalty there. I was about to say if he can make this section well, he's still in touch, but that penalty will drop him back even farther.
Yeah, it's definitely going hard, but sometimes, especially if you compare his style to MICHAL Martikan, who will come out in a few minutes, you can see that the more you attack, it's not necessarily the fastest you go.
But he's still in touch though. Look at this, what's going to happen. Oh, just 0.33 seconds off. So he really flew over the last 3 or 4 gates.
Using his strength and fitness to his advantage in that last section, but the penalties makes it tough.
But the pedigree that's to come out, would it be academic or not?
I think he will be quite happy with his performance today because he really didn't focus on C1 this year. Didn't even race French selections to be better in the C2, and everyone was quite surprised back in France when they saw him on the start list. It was a little bit controversial.
Alexander SLAFKOVSKY is certainly on form. He won the European goal last weekend. A lot to be said about him. Very tall, very elegant. Lots and lots of victories in the last couple of years.
Such a nice paddler to watch when he's on. Really moves the boat with technique that is so smooth.
And the Slovaks have really good C1. MICHAL, MARTIKAN, and all the guys coming behind him for years are actually now starting to beat him really frequently. So,
well, he's up at the split so far. It's only 0.02 seconds, and he's splitting. Oh, there's a problem there.
Oh.
He recovered well, though, almost capsizing, but able to hold himself in line with the upstream boat.
There's a touch. None of the 4 competitors to go down the course so far have managed to go without any touches.
That was another penalty, just cutting a little too close to the gate as he tried to get the whitewater move across the river.
So without the penalties would be in touch, but now with the penalties is 4 seconds off the pace. Will he be really trying to push the limit now?
Unfortunately, with the whitewater, you can't push the limit too far.
And it looks like we have transmission problems on the screen. There's no 50 so far.
Well, here we come. It's not going to be the gold medal, but could it be a medal position? So far, 2.89 seconds down, which means that SAVSEK from Slovenia is provisionally in first place.
And NICOLAS PESCHIER remain in second. I think his C2 partner will be proud of him, watching him from the live results.
Okay, let's say hello.
With David Florence and Michael Martikan still to come, I think we're going to see some much faster racing.
And we can wish Pierrot a good recovery, because he's for sure watching.
Referring, of course, to Peter Kauser, who flipped this morning, dislocating his shoulder.
Well, MATEJ BENUS wasn't in the top 3 in the Slovakia trials.
New father, perhaps focusing a little bit more on family this year.
Well, 26 years old, sister top competitor now for the USA, and he's had some really strong results in the last couple of years. World ranking at the moment, I believe he's down to number 5.
Within a second of Benjamin SAVSEK's time. Whoa, nice move across from 9 to 10, using the whitewater perfectly. Keeping the boat running. He didn't just end up high in the upstream, but actually got it to run quickly. Tough move for the righty C1s. He's got his paddle on the wrong side as he goes across that wave.
He is way up on the split, almost a second ahead. Sometimes looks like he's just going for a stroll down the river, but really effective.
It's when he's harnessing the power in the water, picking up an unfortunate penalty in that upstream.
Yeah, this bottom section is definitely giving troubles to everyone.
Well, the time to go for is 1:02, so he's not going to go there. Here he comes, last few seconds. Whoop.
Yeah, he just managed to gain speed over the bottom after a statue. It would be interesting to watch the split times.
Well, slight mistake on my part. He does move into provisional top position.
But he still doesn't look very happy because he knows that some big names are just coming after him and that this touch might cost him a lot.
SIDERIS TASIADIS was the silver medal winner here in the Olympic Games. Long arms, short paddle, certainly knows how to throw the boat around.
He's a little bit of a hot and cold paddler. When he gets on a streak, he can really move the boat quickly, but things tend to go sideways for him.
He was ranked number 3 in the world, came 4th in the Worlds in Prague.
Looking quick so far. Almost
Slightly
half a second
faster,
up.
yeah, slightly faster than MATEJ BENUS. Probably more aggressive on this top part of the course. But he is low in that right upstream. It didn't catch the hole. So he will definitely lose quite lots of time here.
Question will be, was it early enough in the course for him to make up the time? Picking up a penalty somewhere though.
Haven't seen where, but it seems that it's in gate 10.
That was a nice move. He's a left-handed paddler, so he's able to hold the hole with his paddle, crossing nicely and quickly into the upstream.
He needs to go quickly because he's 6 seconds off the pace.
It's being low in that upstream at gate 10. It takes forever to paddle up that eddy. Oh, a beautiful cross, staying right on top of the whole way across. I think that was the fastest we've seen so far in this final.
Yeah, he's doing a great bottom part, so he might make up some time, but will that be enough to be faster than MATEJ BENUS?
The answer is certainly no. 4.60 seconds off. Provisionally, that moves him into 6th place.
We saw the paddlers in the semi-final breaking 100 seconds.
Well, 3 competitors to go out of the 10. MATEJ BENUS from Slovakia, so far in provisional 1st place. Maybe expect a bit of noise coming down the course in the next couple of minutes. Poster boy, double world champion David Florence, 31 years old.
Certainly no shortage of strength or fitness for this guy. Very, very hard worker. Great paddler, nice.
And one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. Here he comes.
Really moving the boat well, right on line, tight to the poles.
I was disappointed with his C1 Olympic performance, but obviously bounced back, as we all know, to take the C2 silver. But here he goes, he's been on electrifying form all week.
He knows this course.
Oh, almost a second.
And he's going fast. Smoking that move. Probably one of the fastest, even among the K1 men that we saw.
Yeah, and using no energy to do it, which will pay off a lot at the bottom of the course.
Well, we have the family and friends running down the course with him. It's going to be quite tough.
This is a tough
Flying.
move for the righty C1s. Can he hold the wave? Does so nicely, right into the upstream.
And he's just
Well, it's
charging.
1.5 seconds up on the split. And so far, crucially, no penalty points. Oh, so far.
The announcer's curse picks up a touch on the entry into that upstream, but does the move well, moving the boat.
Well, it's still going to be interesting because MATEJ BENUS picked up 2 penalties as well. Time of reference is 1:03.20 at the end.
I think he'll be well up on that, but right now he'll be worried about Martikan, who's following him down the course.
All the energy in last few seconds. Well, provisionally, he has taken the 1st place. Hands in the air. David
Wow.
Florence has a medal.
And he's attacking all the way down. He's not afraid to be tired on the bottom section of the course.
His time of 97 seconds plus 2, the running time would have been good enough to put him easily on the podium in the men's kayak class. Impressive.
Mum and Dad just in front of us, still panting from the effort of keeping up with him. Instinct, the first person he's talking to now is his doubles partner, Richard Hounslow.
And
Miguel Martikan.
Yeah, the next one to go is the legend himself.
A little bit strange to watch him paddling in white. He's been that orangey red for so long. Bit of a reinvention.
Been a bit quiet in the last 2 years, but as we know, he's got 5 Olympic medals, 2 golds. First time he won a World Championship medal was in 1995. So it shows how amazing that is. And from 1995 to 2010, never missed a podium in the Worlds or the Olympics. So absolutely extraordinary competitor.
Oh, but he misses the move. Not able to grab the hole well enough on the corner to run him across to the upstream, so he's had to paddle up the eddy. He was already half a second behind David Florence's time. That's going to put him several seconds back.
Well, last week he came back to form wing a silver medal in the Europeans. What makes him so special?
His touch and feel on the water, his complete dedication to his craft.
But there's 2-second penalty.
But you never know, it's Michal Martikan. Sometimes it seems not to pull on his blade, and it looks like the blade is just staying in the water and is really fast. But
7.4 seconds off the pace. He's going to have to do something really special even to get into the medals here.
Yeah, it's not going to happen today.
Dropping low in gate 10 was kind of the end of his run from a medal perspective.
Well, he missed the World Cups last year and just made it for the World Championships.
He's pulling hard, trying to get to the finish.
And he still finishes in second position,
which puts him on the podium.
With only one paddler to go.
You don't often see Michael Martikan pulling that hard at the finish line. He's usually a little more in hand, so he knew he had to go.
But despite the mistake, we is still doing some incredible things. Like the last left upstream was technically like perfect. Probably the best we've seen today.
Well, he was 7.5 seconds off the pace at the midway split and finished 4 seconds down. So he was maybe a surprise to see GEBAS from the Czech Republic. Stanislav Jezak couldn't make the team this year, so it shows the standard of the Czech team.
Making the Czech team is probably one of the hardest team to make. There's so many people that are good. It's just like maybe the top 6 paddlers in each class are like world-class athletes. So.
Well, he came 11th in the World Championships in Prague. Last year didn't actually make a final. 30th, 21st, 21st, 18th and 12th. So this is certainly really, really good to see.
Picking up an early penalty somewhere, not quite as dynamic as he was in his first run. His first run was very measured, really nicely controlled and fast, but this is a little one stroke behind himself almost.
Well, 4 seconds off the pace as we saw in the first split.
I think it's going to be hard to go faster than Dave Florence. We saw him smoking the first hard move across the hole and attacking all the way down. But Martikan is almost 4 seconds slower than Dave Florence, so the podium is still accessible.
6.6 seconds now. The time of reference to have a medal is 1:04.12. It's BENUS who's sitting in the post at the moment.
It's nicely done. This cross will be critical to any podium hopes he has. Nails it.
But that was very tight.
Judges will have to confer. Did he? Oh, saying he didn't get his head inside the gate.
Well, if that rests the same, it's a shame for the people looking for excitement, but he's really pushing for the line. He can appeal. Round of applause from the public and Dave Florence, who takes the victory.
It's a great day for British team so far. At least for the C1s, the girls did first and second, and Dave winning.
And to have to be above Michael MARTIKAN in any competition, supposedly must be pretty amazing. Dave Florence carries on his electrifying form. As we know, he's the world champion in C1 and C2, and today coming you live from the Olympic course, we've just witnessed Dave Florence again showing that he can handle the pressure.
Well, and has opportunity to add to his medal total racing C2 later in the weekend with Rich Hounslow.
Brother and sister both coming down to watch him, so it's a family affair. They're all going out for dinner apparently tonight. There's the crowd sprinting towards. Well, it's a good crowd today. Sun's out. An hour and a half ago when we came in here, it was a huge rainstorm, and now it's a beautiful sunny day. To get the sunglasses out.
With lots to celebrate.
So a quick summary for today.
The bottom section is definitely very tricky, so everything can happen. I think it's not worth doing any bets.
So you've seen 30 runs in detail. Are you going to put the mental picture in your head for tomorrow?
I'm trying to.
Well, confirmation of the results here from the C1 singles. Now there's an appeal going out. Let's see what happens there. We've got David Florence provisionally given the gold, Michael MARTIKAN the silver, Benjamin SAVSEK. So Dave, what's all this star about?
It means that they're reviewing it with the video review. Not sure why, if someone's put in an inquiry or if it's just a matter of technicality. I didn't see anything on his run that would require any changes, I don't think.
And the other star on TASIADIS SIDERIS, we saw one touch, but didn't see the other, so might only be one touch, which wouldn't change the top three anyway, but.
Well, it's not over for the weekend. We've reached the halfway stage. Tomorrow morning, this afternoon, we're going to have the team events. Then tomorrow morning, we're going to have the semi-finals for the women's K1, and then we're going to have the semi-finals for the men's C2, and then after that, midday-ish, we're going to have the finals. So it's going to be exciting stuff for us to watch there. David Ford, let's hope the Strip World back comes true in the next few days. I guess you're going on to Tachin and Nuri Newman. Fingers crossed that you certainly enjoy yourself tomorrow in the K1s.
Yeah, hopefully. Looks like a good course to me. Many holes and tricky and using the white water, so should be good.
Well, that's about it from us today. Thank you for joining. You can see us on Facebook and Twitter and all the other social media ways, but that's it for today. Enjoy your racing, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. And thank you also for Mike Dawson, who's excellent contributions. Thank you very much. Goodbye.